116th Hotline. It's Sadie.
It's Satana, and welcome back to 116th Hotline. If this is your first time here, hello. If this is not your first time here,
welcome back to the late night show.
Period. Yep. This will be the last episode of 2024. That is so crazy to say. It feels like, I mean, we literally just did come back from our summer hiatus.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
It's weird because we started our podcast in
October, so that's kind of like the
end of the year.
Yeah, the ending of the year for us. But then following the calendar year, then it's like ending of 2024.
It's kind of offset. Yeah. But this is the last episode of 2024. How do you feel about that?
Woo, that's crazy. I feel like, I don't know. I feel great. I feel accomplished. I'm just so happy that we do have this little podcast where we come and just yap around with each other and whatnot. And granted, we had a little bit of change going on, but then we're still going strong, baby. We're still going strong because, like you said, I think I saw you post something about 116 is your baby, and like we started this from the bottom, and it's our passion, and we do this just out of our own free time. So I really I do hold this podcast like really close to my heart too, because I just love the yap session, and it's like it's therapy for me.
It's literally not only our safe space, like we say, but for you guys as well. The listener, the viewer, it's all of our safe space. And
yes.
I love that for us. Anywho's, I wanted to end the year off with a bang, and I feel like it's kind of a full circle, starting the new year fresh. And I actually had a listener of ours send in this request, and she kind of wanted us to touch on the topic of betrayal, friendship betrayal, and so to go into it, basically this listener viewer had experienced a betrayal within her friendship. She had an idea to do something great, and she shared it with one of her friends who she thought she could trust at the time, and that friend ended up taking it and making it her own.
No, are you serious?
Yes. She ended up taking it, making it her own, and now she is somewhat successful in that. And they've cut ties because the listener and viewer, let's call the listener Jane. Okay. And let's call the friend Mary. Okay. So basically Jane was like, "Hey Mary, I have an idea for something. I have an idea to do something, and I think it would be really great to do this, and like, can you see it happening?" And Mary was like, "Yeah, that's such a great idea. I think you should do it." A couple years went by. Mary messaged Jane, and Mary was like, "Hey, that story that we talked about? Like, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go forward with the idea that you brought up because I like it."
So she took the idea and ran with it.
Yes. And now Jane is like, "Wait, but I feel like betrayed because that was my idea.
Yeah.
You took my idea and you ran with it, right?" And so they've been kind of on and off for a couple years because it's kind of like she's getting more success in this. Mary is getting more success in this, and Jane is like, "Wait, I kind of feel salty. Like, I feel like I want to stand up for myself."
Yeah.
Because you took my idea that I gave you, and now you're running it like it's your own thing. So now Jane is like, how I just have so much like hatred for her, and like almost like jealousy, because I'm like, why are you successful in my idea? I gave you that idea, and now you're playing it like as if it's your own thing. So just recently she said that she blocked them, each other, and now she's like, I've learned that I have to, in order for me to move on, I have to forgive her. I have to be nice to her, and I have to draw that boundary in order for me to move on.
Yes. So that way she doesn't carry any of that like
with her. Yes.
Oof, I don't know.
Isn't that so messed up?
That is so messed up. And to consider yourself a friend.
Yes.
I just want to tell Mary to pop out. I just want to talk real quick. Like, come outside, Mary. What the heck? Because that's shady.
Oh, wait. And another side note. Everybody thinks that Mary is amazing and wonderful. And like, you came up with this awesome thing. We literally love you. She eats it up. And Jane's over here like, she is quiet, she is reserved, and she's not your typical
okay.
She's an introvert, so she's like, wait, but how can I stand up for myself while also not being like she's a stealer and a liar?
Shoot.
Isn't that crazy?
That is so crazy. This is real life. You're not.
Yeah.
This is not a story. A movie.
No,
it's like a movie.
I know. It's
holy shit.
It's real.
That is devastating for Jane.
After she told me the whole story, I said, please, I need to bring this on the podcast.
Yes, we do.
Because I know that there's people out there that can relate to friendship betrayal. Not even just friendship, but just betrayal in general. Like how lonely it must feel and how guilty you feel.
Yeah.
For wanting to stand up for yourself. That shouldn't happen.
You shouldn't feel guilty to stand up for yourself. Man, that's a lot to take in and to process. But
yeah,
my immediate thought, I mean, like, I guess I have to consider the fact that Jane is, more of an introvert, and how can she stand up for herself? My advice to you, Jane, if you're listening to this, is just do it, girl. This is your idea that you cooked in your own head and you brought it up to your friend. Well, I mean, ex-friend. And I think that it's, rightfully so, you should stand up for yourself and you should expose her. I would. If you need help, hey, we'll back you up in this, because that's not cool. That is not cool.
And I told her I think
that's not.
It's not like you're going out there and lying.
You're not lying.
But if it was just you and Mary in the room, who's telling the truth.
Yes, exactly.
Who brought up the idea.
I would say this. Okay. Coming from, I mean, I don't know how old you are or exactly who you are, but then just like in this scenario, I would suggest you to have a one-on-one talk with Mary first, okay? Like a one-on-one, and just be straight up and be, honest and say, hey, I want you to come clean. Mary, I want you to come clean. I want you to give me credit where credit is due, because at the end of the day, it is my idea. It was my idea, and it is my idea. And, you ran with it. And I'm just left, in the back burner when this was what I essentially started. But, you took it. So I want you to either come clean and, give me some credit for it, or I'm going to expose you. I mean, and obviously, however, I don't know what your friendship dynamic is now, but then like you can kind of go along those words, like just to be real, because that's messed up. That is so messed up. I would not, especially it's the fact that she's successful with it now, whatever that thing is, that's just not cool. That's not cool.
And I told her like in order for her to move past that, because she decided not to pursue the same idea.
Okay.
She's like, I'm just letting it go because and it's been years. Like they've been back and forth with this for years. I think it's been like maybe like 6-7 years. And she just finally was like, I can't do it anymore. And they just ended up
6-7 years. Okay, that is a long. But yeah, so but still,
I think just friendship betrayal in general, like on that topic, I feel like you always have to find it in your heart to forgive if you really truly want to move past it.
Yes, for yourself.
For yourself. You may not have closure ever from the other party, and you may not even get it ever.
Yeah, we talked about closure on another episode before. We'll look it up. But for maybe not closure with that person, but have closure within yourself.
You cannot move past it if you don't accept or forgive that person in your own heart.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If you were to come, if you encounter a betrayal within like a friend or something, in order for you to forgive and move on and whatnot, how would you go about that? Like, would you just have a conversation within yourself and just say like, I just gotta let this go, or would you approach that person? And
I don't know. See, because then I'm like, my mindset, it's like, is two things. You can you can either have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
And don't know how that's going to turn out. Right. Or B, you can just deal with it within yourself and get over with it. Okay. For me, I always go to B, because I'm like, why would I give them an insight of how I'm thinking in my mind? And like not only that, but I feel like you give them a little bit of power when you bring that up, because then like they're gonna be like, well, I didn't know you feel like this way or whatever. But I don't know, to me it's just like, if we're not dumb, like we're adults, and you know what you did, you know that you're doing that, there's no, like, I feel like it's just wasting my breath.
That's true when they already know that they are in the wrong
and that they betrayed you.
Good point. Yeah,
that's my point. What about yours?
I don't know, my first thought was I would go with A. I would either have a conversation. Exactly, we need the different ones, the difference, we balance each other out. I would either maybe have a conversation with that person and just speak my truth and tell them how it is, and hear me out. And or another thing, something else I could do is I would probably, like, if I feel like I don't want to talk to them in person, or just to have like a verbal conversation, I would like maybe send them a message and then just block them. So that way I've got my words out, and then you've received it, boom, that's it. I don't care about what you have to say, but this is what I have to say
for my own closure.
That's something I would do.
And I was telling Jane, like, just because being an introvert and being quote unquote not beautiful or not the beauty standard has nothing to do with standing up for yourself. Like, just because, you know, Mary is looked at as this successful, beautiful, like ideal woman doesn't make you any less than.
No.
And I was telling her that has nothing to do with the fucking shitty shit that she did.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that doesn't matter. Just because you don't fit the mold, that has nothing to do with that. A friend betrayed you and she cannot give you credit, does not own up to it, does not admit to it.
That is some shady shit.
Isn't that messed up?
I wouldn't even consider her a friend anymore, or even an ex-friend. Like, that's an enemy. That's your nemesis.
Well, she did. So Jane did go a little toxic.
Oh, really? Wait, Jane is the one that took it. No, Jane's the main person.
Jane's the main person. Yeah, she did go a little toxic, and she did show me that she sent this girl on one of her posts, like, she wrote something publicly, like, about, like, oh, like, hey, well, basically Mary had taken a picture with a friend, and Jane had wrote something like, well, you better be careful who you're friends with, because, and I said, Jane, that was a little low, but
then I think that was her way of letting it out in her well, I can't think of
so after that happened, then basically they blocked each other, because she was
they blocked each other.
And I did tell Jane, I was like, Jane, that was a little toxic, but you know, if that
villain era arc,
if that helped you get over it a little bit, then that's okay. I just feel bad for people like Jane that feel that they have no right to stand up for themselves. You have every right. If someone does you wrong, you have every right
to stand up
for yourself. You have every right to, if you don't want closure, to do what you feel you need to do in order to get through it, get past it.
Yeah.
Because
do what you got to do for it.
No one should be able to have that much mental control over you guys. And I've talked about this over and over.
You've been through it.
I've been through it. Like, you know, like friend betrayal, family betrayal, like whatever betrayal,
whatever, any betrayal.
Any betrayal, if someone does you wrong, you are 100% in your right to stand up for yourself.
Yes. If you feel like you have been wronged, stand up for yourself and speak on it, you know?
Because if you don't do it, everybody will continue to walk all over you.
Yes, and it's going to eat you alive.
And it's not going to affect anybody else but you. So if you are going through betrayal, or if you are like in this like same mindset right now, I want you to take a moment, think to yourself, why do I not have the power and the capability to stand up for myself? I am worthy of that. I am worthy of being a strong person. I am worthy of standing up for myself. I am worthy of all the beautiful things that I deserve to have. And no one should be able to take that from me.
You have a voice, so use it. Use it. This is something I really do want to tell, relate back to myself. I mean, I wish I could tell myself this, like maybe 5-6 years ago when I was younger too. Whenever you are someone that's so much more of an introvert, or you're just more of a mediator, and you just want to keep the calm and the peace, and you rather just walk away, right? And you're like, okay, whatever, you don't want to stir into the drama or make it even more like, dramatic or whatever. Yeah. So you just tend to turn the other cheek and you walk away. Now that I'm older, I would suggest the opposite. Like, speak up for yourself. You really have to speak up for yourself, or else, like you said, they're just going to continue to walk all over you. You're going, as a matter of fact, you're going to be viewed as an easy target. Yeah. To others that, they can tell that, you're the weakest link.
I think that also sets the boundary of like going forward in the future, how people view you. Because if you don't stand up for yourself, if you don't create those boundaries, other people will continue to see what happened from that. And they, like Sadie said, will see you as an easy target. And you don't want to go through life feeling like that. No. And honestly, we say this all the time. Like, you literally only have one life to live. So why live it at the precedence of other people? Why leave it to other people? You literally have take control of your life,
of your own life.
Stand up for yourself and know that you are not to be effed with. Seriously.
I feel like betrayal, just the word betrayal in general, it's like, it's painful, it's hurtful, you know what I mean? Like, especially coming from someone that you had trust in, friendship, whether it be a friendship or a family member, or like just like a relationship, anything. Betrayal in itself, it hurts. So it's going to be hard, but at the end of the day, you really got to put yourself first,
And for those that are struggling to find the courage, I say to you, How would you feel if someone treated a person that you loved and cared for like this? And how would you react to it? Would you be angry? Would you stand up for them? Would you be their voice? Channel that and do that for yourself.
That's such a great point of view, dude. Because when you think of it that way,
and like that's
inner channel too.
You know, I feel like that's kind of what I experienced a couple weeks ago. Was like betrayal.
Yeah.
And I mean, not me personally, but like someone I know experienced betrayal.
Oh.
And that led them into a downward spiral. And to me, I felt like I had to stand up.
Right.
And like, I think it's the same scenario.
Yeah.
Well, how would you react if someone you loved was experiencing that?
Yeah.
And channel that and do it for yourself. Because if you don't do it, if other people aren't doing it for you, you got to do it for yourself.
You got to do it for yourself.
And it may be scary, but you know, I'll tell you what, you'll feel 100 times better once you do it.
At least you got it off your chest, you know? Like, speak up for yourself.
Yes.
God, that's insane. Man.
Doesn't it sound so fake? It literally happened though, and I literally was jaw dropped because I know Jane.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know Mary.
Right. Oh, you know Mary too? Do you know Mary and Jane?
Yes.
Okay. Mary and Jane.
So I know Mary. I know the girl that was the one that took the ideas. And I didn't know. There was a whole other side to it.
Backstory.
I said, wait. Are we talking about the same person? And Jane was like, yes, you know who Mary is.
Oh, hey.
Jane was like, you know who Mary is. Mary, you know this person.
So Mary's got all of the good exposure and everything.
Mary has all the good exposure. And I'm like, Jane, you need to stand up for yourself. I'm like, I'm not saying that you need to go out there and blast this person.
Right.
But
at least
don't let anyone take your integrity.
Yes, exactly. Don't let anybody take your integrity, and use this moment to like just tell your story. And it doesn't have, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like specifics. You don't have to really point the names and, you know, the numbers out or whatever.
Just the experience.
Talk about your experience. And you can use this episode as a starter, if you will.
Just share it.
To share it, you know, share it, whatever, and then, you know, tell your story, because, you know, your voice deserves to be heard. You know, I mean, this is your truth. Like, I would be pissed off if somebody were to run with my main core idea, and especially somebody that's
close to you. I have a question too. How many of you have been a Jane or a Mary?
Ooh, good question.
And be real with yourself for a second here.
Let's think about it.
Have you been a Jane or have you been a Mary? And tell us the truth. Tell us.
Go ahead.
I mean, you don't have to admit it publicly, but
right.
Like, think about that. And if you are on the flip side, like on the Mary side, and you're like, well, I only took some inspiration, I didn't take everything. Well, you still have to credit who you got some idea from. It comes
down to crediting. Okay, if you really took some kind, if it was an inspiration, give credit when credit's due. You know what I mean? Like, you have to acknowledge it.
Acknowledgement can go such far.
A long way.
Even us, when we're doing the podcast, right? And we're talking about like an episode or something, we always acknowledge where we got the idea from, where we saw it from, who we heard it from.
Always, yeah. Acknowledging, referencing, whatever.
That's just being true to you as like a good person, I think, as like a human being.
Yeah. Speaks a lot about your character if you try to like take other people's ideas and try to make it your own. This is kind of stupid, but it may kind of relates to it. You know, whenever people on Facebook, they see like memes and stuff of like a saying, and they copy it and they post it as their own status. It's so cringing to me, because I'm like, honey, we already saw that.
Facebook is starting to be like MySpace.
It is starting to be like MySpace. It's just so cringing to me. I only stay on it for the shits and giggles and family members.
Maybe because it's like our era.
Yeah. It is. I'm just like, oh, so cringy. But yeah, I mean, just like that. That's an example. Like,
I don't know. I just I feel bad for people that are like Jane, because people like Jane, they feel powerless.
Yes, they don't have
they feel like the underdog, which they are. And I'm just like, you have so much. You have so much potential to be great if you just believe in yourself.
Yes. So what is give a Jane an advice, or people like the Janes out there, an advice of like, you know, if you are someone that, you know, you have really great ideas cooking up in your head, but you just don't know how to find that courage to put it out there, or to put yourself out there, what is your advice? My
advice for people that are like Jane, that has a lot of great potential, that has many great ideas, my advice is to just do. Don't overthink it.
Nike.
Just do. Don't overthink. When you overthink, you tend to stop. You tend to reevaluate. Put it out there. What are you so afraid of? You're afraid of being the perception, right? Mm-hmm. But there's so much worse that can happen. Like someone like Mary taking your ideas, okay? You can... And also, like, another word of advice, in addition to, like, just put it out there, is to not share your ideas with other people. And that's something that Jane told me. She's like, I'm not going to share my ideas with other people anymore. And I said, yes, because you don't know who's going to run with it.
Yeah.
I said, if you have an idea, keep it locked in. And I have a story, actually. I actually have a story relating to that. So when we went to the Barbie Museum, I remember we were having the tour and they were talking about the ideas for the Barbie dolls. Yeah. And you know how he was saying that they were such a war between Barbie doll makers at Mattel and another Hasbro. And that what they ended up doing was they had all these prototypes, right, of dolls, and you don't know who was around the office. They would go tell the competition. And so remember, that's why he was saying that after that happened and they were starting to steal ideas, when they had prototypes, they had to start putting blankets over or cloths over. Remember that? That reminded me of that. Like, you need to put a cloth over your ideas. You don't necessarily have to hide your ideas, but be careful who you tell your ideas to. Be careful.
I think it really comes down to you really have to be careful who you tell your ideas to.
Any words of wisdom from you for Jane?
Let's see. I would say the same thing like you. Like go for it. Go for it, because I mean, put your ideas out there, but then at the same time, you have to be mindful of who you tell to. So pretty much the same thing. You have to be careful because you just never know. Now, for example, so if I were to come up with an idea, Satana will be someone I could trust fully, wholeheartedly, right? Yeah. Versus somebody that I'm just kind of like, I'm friends with, but then we don't really like go into like on a deep level. We don't have like a deep level type of friendship. Like, I wouldn't really tell them about that if it's a real true idea that I really want to run with it, Yeah, but that's just, man, I do feel for Jane, but I would say please use this as an encouragement. Use your voice. We are here to back you up if you need us to.
And you are not alone.
You're not alone, because I'm sure, like you said,
it happens to people all the time.
And this is for all of you Janes out there. Like, yeah, use this moment. Really, you've got to stand up for yourself. Like, I've experienced, not necessarily betrayal, but just like kind of like bullying too, and then being that person that's just like,
essentially that is
it is bullying, I guess,
when you're taunting them. That that wasn't your idea, and you're gaslighting them. Like, what the heck? Like, so they're making you feel less than, right? They're making you feel like, oh yeah, like you're like, you're not good enough.
You're not good enough. So but you really just gotta stand up for yourself. Like I said, if I could talk to Sadie from like 15 years ago, I would tell Sadie to stand up to those bullies, you know what I mean? And, use your voice, because you'd be surprised. If you do speak up for yourself, you'd be surprised, what the outcome might be. You know what I'm saying? Because imagine if Jane were to talk to Mary and like,
straight up, like stand on business.
Hey, yes, put them black Air Forces on.
Yep.
And stand on business, okay?
Strap them up.
You know the reference for that? No. So, like, how like regular Air Forces like are white, the white Air Forces, that everybody has. It's like typical shoe. So white Air Forces seems like it's like supposed to represent like, oh, you're innocent, you're cool, just like for styles. But when you put the black ones on, you're standing on business. Like you're like there's like stupid little memes of burglars, or like whenever they go in, like they can run into people, like an animation of people going like breaking into a house, but they have black on black Air Forces. So that's the reference for it. So we always use black Air Forces for like reference.
That's
like,
funny.
It's so funny. It's so cute.
I never thought of that. That's funny.
But for real though, like you have to really stand on business and just speak to that person straight up and say, hey, this was my idea, so you have to give me some credit, or
give me credit where credit's due.
Yes. Or you should just like,
or I will smack you.
Or smack you. Or I'll expose you. Shoot.
Because that's not lying. That's telling the truth.
Exactly. And like you said, whenever earlier you mentioned that if they were both in the room, that Mary knows. She knows what's up.
Mary knows that she took it.
That's insane.
Yes, that's why I'm like, what?
Where's the integrity in this? Where's the...
And the crazy
Mary
thing
should feel ashamed of herself.
Period.
Clock it.
How can you... And you know what's the thing? You know what I told Jane?
What?
She can take your idea and run with it, but if she's not passionate about it and she's only doing it for a friend, that's only going to last a limited time. And I will always stand by that. When you have the passion and you are actually have the drive and the passion for whatever it is you're doing, you will not be burnt out.
Yeah, that's true.
When you are a fake,
because it wasn't her idea to begin with, so she's not going to be able to feed off of it.
Like how are you going to outdo that in the future? You can't, because you didn't come up with the idea.
It was an original for Mary.
Yeah, you know, you're right. She should be ashamed. And that's how I feel every time I look at her. I'm like, oh, all these people know the good side, but I know the backstory. Like I know the backstory.
She's Glinda. I'm so freaking stuck into Wicked right now. But she's Glinda.
It's bad. Ugh. So please stand up for yourself, because at the end of the day, you don't want people to rock all over you. Okay?
And use this since this is coming out around towards the end of the year, end your year off the right way. Like use that inner channel to inner channel yourself to stand up for yourself, or use it for the new year coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Because you know why? If you don't start now, how's the rest of your life going to look like?
Yes.
Are you going to allow people to continuously walk all over you? Sit with that for a minute.
Sometimes process it. Let it marinate. You know, sometimes the people, like, you really have to put it in that, like, perspective. And you have to really, like, put it in those words where, like, do you really want to be shitted all over? Like, you're on the bottom right now. They're spitting on you right now. Do you want to continue that? Sometimes you have to be hard on them in order for them to see it that, oh, dang, yeah, people are walking all over me.
Marinate with that.
Think about it. Because that's how I felt.
That's essentially.
You know? No, for real.
Letting people spit all over your food before you eat it. How are you going to feel about that?
Don't eat that food, girl. Or a boy. Don't eat that food.
That's true. Don't let them do that. Come on.
Like, we're here for tough. I'm very much more on tough love type of.
That's a boundary. Create that boundary. Because I'm telling you what, when people betray me, it took me years to find out, and now I have that boundary where they think they can cross it, honey. But no.
And it took you a while too.
Yes, but to strap on the black Air Forces. And stand on business.
She's standing on business now. She is standing on business, and life has never been better. Like you said,
you have to do that.
Ugh.
Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes people will still continuously try you, but you know what? You hold that boundary, honey. No matter what they try to attack, no matter what they try to take from you, you still have your peace of mind. They can't. It's like a invisible shield. That no matter what they try to throw at you, you're just like, I literally.
It's not affecting you.
Don't care.
It's not affecting you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
It takes years of work, but I'm telling you now, start now, because if you don't start now, it's gonna take you longer to heal from it. It's gonna take you longer to do a positive self-talk, because right now Jane does not talk positive about herself.
Oh,
and I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah, no.
Just because people try to test you like that, don't do that. You are not less than. You are not important. You are important. You are worthy, and you are capable.
Ideas. Yeah, you have great ideas, so you should be the one to run with it. Put it out there.
What do you have to lose?
Exactly.
Nothing.
Nada.
You might even gain from it.
No, seriously. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you just speak on it, you never know what the outcome might be.
Don't let people like Mary walk all over you. Come on. Don't do that.
And if you're a Mary,
fuck you. No. If you are Mary, please think deep within yourself. How long can you be fake for? Okay.
Fake is the word. Fake. Like, just, you're fake.
You can lie to everybody in the world, but the one person that knows the truth, they can make it all come crumbling down.
It's you. This is you. This is the battle between you, Mary. You've got to think about
within yourself, honey.
One day it's gonna come out, sis.
Yes.
It's gonna come out. You can't do this for a long time. You have to, like, be your own, be original. Like, you got to be original. Learn how to be original. Like, that's just, it's, you know what it is too? Mary's a coward. Sorry, Mary. No, I'm not sorry, actually. Nope, I'm not sorry at all. See,
that's the truth.
You're a coward. You're taking your friend's idea and you're running with it, and that's not cool. You're a coward. You
can be inspired, but have integrity to give credit where credit is due. Like,
running with it and they saying that it's all your own. Nah.
It's like making a whole movie and then at the end, the credit is just the director.
Yeah. Right.
No, honey, it took people, lots of people
to make
makeup people, camera people, lighting people, sound people, costume people, a choreo, everything. It's not just you.
Don't ever try to be a Mary.
No, don't. And if you're Mary, please, Lord, do some self-work.
So some self-work. Or it's going to come back and bite you in the butt. Like, oh, you already know. You already know it will.
It will. And that's why I told Jane. I said, Jane, karma will do what it's
karma is so real, y'all. I don't think people understand how real karma is.
It will hit.
Bad and good karma, though. It's all real.
If you're bad, honey, I'm telling you, she is right around the corner.
Karma's going to come and get you.
She will get you.
Karma's about to lace up the Black Air Force right now. Come back and get you.
She's going to be the burglar, and she's going to be like,
boop, bada bing, bada boom.
So be nice. Don't be mean. Start the year fresh.
Yes.
Cleanse yourself of that negative energy, honey. Yes. Stand up for yourself. Practice these self-love rituals.
2025.
Because life is too short. Don't start the new year off how you've been doing it for the last 20-something years. Mm-hmm. Heavy on that. Or 30-something years, 40-something years, 50-something years. Because our demographics are everywhere. But don't start, like, come on. Don't do life the way you've been doing for the past few years.
Start now. If not now, when?
Sit with that for a minute. So
yeah, think about this before you go into the new year. Please marinate on this conversation.
It's like a reflection episode.
Yes, very much reflection. But with that being said, wish you the best of luck, Jane. We are here to support you if you want to DM us, of course. We support you in this, and you've got this, girl.
You can do it.
Yes. So with this being the end of 2024, give me two of your best moments in 2024.
Oh my God.
So, what were the most memorable?
The most memorable would definitely be being oh my God. Okay, yeah. The most memorable would definitely be the secret project that I'm working on. For sure. 100%. For sure.
That's a good one.
For sure. I feel like that's definitely the highlight of my year.
Absolutely.
Okay, how about you?
No, what's your second one?
Oh, my second one? There's two. I would say the second one will be going viral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that
changed my
yes.
It changed my life.
Love that. For me, I would say finding out that I'm going to be an aunt. That's number one for me for this year. And then secondly was when I skydived in Hawaii. I'm still thinking about that. I can't believe I did that. But those were the two main big things that happened to me in 2024. And I can't wait to see what's next.
I want to ask you, listener viewers, what are your two top favorite moments from 2024? Marinate with that for a second. Well, tell us in the comments.
Slide in the DMs. To hear that.
What are your favorite two top moments from 2024? We would love to hear it.
I would love to hear that. Yes.
And with that being said, 2025 is right around the corner. I do also want to end this off with saying some apologizing about not having a lot of events this year. I know we really try to push for it, but we've just had a lot of things going on within our personal lives, and we've been busy, and then like timing and scheduling wise didn't really work out. Event centers were all booked, and whatnot. So we promise you in 2025 we will have more events, and because I know a lot of our listeners, they've been asking too, and like we mentioned, a lot of our events are just so wholesome and just very, very intentional. So please be looking forward to that and stay updated, because we will be posting information about that, and we will be talking about it on our next few episodes. So just stay tuned to our socials. We always try to keep you guys informed via socials, because even when we're busy and life is lifing, we try to at least update you guys on socials, even if it's last minute. We do our best, and really it's just, I do a lot of the editing, and it takes a long time to edit. Right. Exactly. If you ever edited a podcast. Yes, of course.
And your flowers.
Thank you. And Sadie's been trying to help me out more with that and stuff. It's just a lot of work doing long form editing on YouTube, because you have to go through the audio and the video. It's just a lot of process. It's a lot. Yeah. So forgive us if we, it's just us. We don't have any editors. We don't have any.
We don't have a whole team or anything. We are the team.
We are the team, honey. We are the team. And it takes a lot of work. So when you're a 2-woman show or 3-woman show with Val, it's just a lot of work. So keep to a date on our socials, and we definitely, there will be more events in 2025
for sure.
I think we've just taken a break this year because it was really a lot of work.
It's just it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of planning. A lot goes into it too, and we just had a really, really busy year so far. So but
that being said, if you're interested in maybe sponsoring something for our events, you know, whether it be like supplies or money, like whatever, send us an email, DM us, whatever.
We would love to collaborate.
Yes, of course.
Well, I guess this is goodbye until next year. Moving forward, yes, like we mentioned, Val will, you know, hop in and out, you know, whenever she can, and but it'll still be us, same values, same everything, new year, same values, always the core, baby. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much for sticking with 116 Hotline. Like, you know, from YouTube to Anchor, or from YouTube to Spotify to Apple Podcasts. We appreciate all of our listeners. I really think that the community we've made in the digital space has been so, I don't know about you, but for me, it's been so rewarding.
It is.
And full circle and healing. And it's just, I love that we are passionate about this and that people can connect with us on this level.
It really gives me butterflies every time somebody, like, you know, compliments, like, or send us a comment saying like, oh, I listened to this episode, or you made me feel seen, or it's just really, really,
or I felt inspired.
Yes. Yeah. And to the people that have been submitting like requests and questions and whatnot, I highly, highly appreciate that. And I encourage you guys to do more. Even if you're someone that has already submitted a request, do more if you have more. If
you're going through something, let us know. We're going to yap about it.
Just like this episode. Yeah. So please do.
And with that, we'll see you guys next year in 2025.
Bye.